Roll away your stone, I'll roll away mine. So good. Just we have departed from an excellence in coffee experts that was once called Mumford and Sons.
Have we though?
We have. I think we have. And that's the honest truth. Welcome to Coffee Experts Club. We're here. It's good to see everybody. Ben Clatterbuck, excellent to see you today.
And you as well, sir, and you as well.
Drew Moody. I mean, the guy has no excuse, right? He's not in Belize anymore. He's back from his Coffee Experts Elite. Like what? He's just like taking naps in Tri-Cities. He's your neighbor. You like knock on his door or something?
He doesn't know what to do. He's too cold now. He's like just shivering in a corner somewhere.
I will say that probably is a very real thing. It's coming out of Belize where it's like cold is like 70. I think that Pacific Northwest right now is a brutality. I mean, mornings here, I know mornings are there, but mornings here are like 20, 25, 30. Like it's just rough.
It's supposed to be 10 degrees, I think, tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
That is mean. That's
just
a
high of 0.
I think you and I might need to go do a Coffee Experts Elites down in Belize. Just like,
right.
Check it out. Just to see how things are going,
Oh man,
that guy get on fun. Oh, Ben, it's the holiday season. We're in the holidays. Happy holidays. How you doing with Christmas shopping?
Well,
Listen doesn't watch this. She doesn't watch this. Don't worry.
I got most of it done. Unfortunately, some of it's like, oh, sorry, it won't be here until the week after Christmas.
Right? That's the worst. I feel like such a jerk. I'm like, baby, I promise. I ordered this a month early, and they're just jerking me around.
Yeah, I've been saving up boxes so I can just wrap up some empty boxes. So she's got something to open.
No, bro, it's not. You print stuff out. And then when she opens it, you'd be like, "This is what's coming. It's going to be so great."
Oh my gosh! Fun fact. So one year, way back in the early days of Roasters, I had like zero money, like the poor as all get out. Yeah. For Christmas, what I did is I drew everybody pictures of what I would have gotten them if I had money, and I wrapped that up.
Yes, I love that.
So my whole family just got hand-drawn pictures of, I would have gotten you a TV. I would have gotten you a new this or a new that. And I was like, Merry Christmas. I don't have any money.
Was that emo Ben days?
Oh yes. Oh, for sure. That was like scrounging for like $6 to buy a 6-pack of Pabst days.
Well, I mean, that was probably because you were only getting paid tips.
Yeah.
Oh man, the good old days, Ben Clatterbuck.
The holidays are a little bit better these days. I will say that.
Yep, we're going to talk holidays today on Coffee Experts Club. I'm excited to talk about that. Obviously, if you've been doing coffee any amount of time, then you realize that there's an opportunity, right? All these shoppers are out there. Everybody's out moving around, and there's an opportunity to really realize some income at a time when maybe most people or some people don't take advantage of that. And so, we're going to talk about that today, just some different ways we've done it. We've got a working example of what's going on down at Coffee de las Mayas, where Drew's coming back from Belize. They're rolling out 5 days of Christmas. I'm sure a lot of people are rolling out something pretty similar. But I think more than anything, just talking about how can we create growth patterns? How can we create sales by giving people opportunities? Because I think some people don't always think about that. We think it has to do with price. And I mean, obviously, if you're overpriced, that's going to obviously affect your sales. Or if you're underpriced, you need to probably be careful, right, of your cost of goods and your margins. Maybe people are stuck on, it always has to be the location. That's a sucky location. That location just doesn't perform well. Ingress, egress is bad. Traffic count's not good. That's going to work against our location. Mm-hmm. And all those things are true. Like obviously people are smart. I'm not saying that they're not smart to think through these things, but I do think sometimes we underestimate the ability of how can we drive traffic to locations we want them to go to? How can we create the flow? And I think one of those things is what we're going to talk about today, and that is deal days. And it's something that, I think you and I both learned from the good old Roasters days, and credit to, look at this, his ears are burning.
Guy coming in right now.
Man, Drew Moody. The guy, man, it's hard. You want to talk? I don't want to talk trash till his audio's on. You know what I'm saying? The guy goes to Belize and he forgets how technology works. And it's fine, bro. I get it. Like you don't have internet in Belize. That's fine. But now you do,
Hey, Zoom and I have a love-hate relationship.
Listen, and this is my thing is I get it when you're on your computer, but the beauty of your phone is all you have to do is, and I tell my kids when I try and get them on a Zoom call from time to time, all you have to do is click the link. I mean, so just tell me what the problem is. I just want to know what's the problem. You don't have to download the app. All you have to do is click the link, and your Wi-Fi actually picks up the signal and will take you straight in the portal, straight here to me and Ben Clatterbuck.
That's what I ended up doing, man. That's why I'm vertical, but we'll see if Zoom works later.
I've noticed you're wearing significantly more layers than you have been in the past few.
Yes.
Couple coffee experts.
It's absolutely freezing up here. Insanity.
I got to the point
where the low 70s felt cold to me down there. So
that's exactly what I just said. I said, poor Drew, coming from a place where he was crying about it being cold when it was 70, and now it's like, welcome to winter in the Pacific Northwest.
I forgot about it.
Yes. Anyway, we were talking about holiday. We were talking about holiday deals. We were talking about the ability to drive traffic based upon you controlling the flow, and we talked about how something that we learned from the old Roasters days, some Wes Hayden, I think, in brilliance, and picked it up from other coffee retailers like him, the Dutch Bros out there, the different, chains that share a similar ethos. And that is, how can you drive traffic that actually speaks to your need rather than just controlling it by price, rather just controlling it by location. Two of those things are very, very important. But another way you can do it is how you do your deals and what things you offer that actually incentivize people to want to come and frequent you on certain days at certain times. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I was going to pull up the example of Coffee de las Mayas because they're actually rolling out 5-day deals right now, which is something pretty common. So anything you want to preface that with? Ben and I have already been talking, so we'd love to hear from Drew Moody.
I think that the ability to control your traffic is a priceless thing, and learning how to do it through your deals, push it to your more experienced baristas or towards those low volume hours. I'm sure you guys spoke to all this. You learn over time, and you learn how to push certain inventory and how to push certain specials if you're sitting on a lot of product. These are key ways to execute those different difficult types of hurdles properly.
Yeah. And I mean, too, and maybe even when you don't want to throttle it, so you and I had some of those conversations earlier this week with you traveling back from Coffee Experts Elite and just leaving a new team there. How much volume do you want to throw down? How much do you want to throttle the volume? So I think that, we do have deal days going, but how aggressive do you want to get on your marketing? How much do you want to boost your posts? How much do you want to be running ads? Because you can throttle that sucker up or you can throttle that sucker back, you know what I mean? But we have a lot of control. So I think where you and I landed on it for Coffee de las Mayas, as you were concerned with some of those things, was, hey, post it, but don't boost it. I mean, like let's get it out there. We'll put up the POS. We'll put up the POP, the point of purchase signage, but let's not get too aggressive, because we were just down there a little over a month ago doing a grand opening where we ran similar deals, and it would have broke us had Taryn Turner not shown up on vacation with his wife. The amazing world. I think that we would have had some problems.
Oh yes. They would have many problems.
So anyway, I thought if you guys would like, I could have a little show and tell.
Yeah. We
could talk through maybe deal days, and you could see what Coffee de las Mayas is running currently. Oh, look, and I downloaded, it's okay, I can talk about it this way. I downloaded the one that we were going to social media with, which is a little bit different than the one we printed for the point of purchase. Okay, so here we go. So deal days, 5 deal days going on starting today. And let's just talk through, I know, Drew, you are the origin of a lot of these ideas, you having lived down there, knowing what was going to resonate. Maybe we should talk about that first. What resonates most with your customer? Because this probably isn't the same 5 days of Christmas that we're used to running every single holiday at different places. So let's talk about that for a little bit. Drew, why do we start with free tea with purchase?
Well, I think the community down there, and I was incredibly surprised to experience their love for Christmas. Of course, they don't really do Thanksgiving. It's not really something that they do other than catering to tourists and expats. But Christmas is an instant thing. Everywhere's decorated. Everybody is wearing hats. Everybody's playing Christmas music. And it's not the cliche like where you go to the bank here and the tellers don't like the Christmas music. No, it's you go to the bank and everyone's singing along to the Christmas music song. So
Ben would love it. So Ben would love it. Here's what you're telling me. This is Ben's country.
Yeah, it's where Ben belongs, I think.
Yeah.
So we decided to do something fun with the logo, and we just threw a little hat on the t-shirt. The original t-shirt that we did was black. It had just the regular logo on it with their little slogan on the back. Well, because of all the baristas were requesting Christmas hats, I thought that was kind of fun. They said it's a big deal. They all want to wear them. They all want to be festive. So we just threw a little hat on it and changed the color to blue. So I thought starting off the deal days with the Christmas style t-shirt was a good way to kick off the holiday spirit and get everybody into the, spirit of giving. Because a lot of the people down there were bummed out they didn't get a t-shirt. So this was round 2, second chance to get a t-shirt.
Is there a reason? And is there a reason you do a medium drink? Is there any mindset behind why we did what we did?
When you buy a medium drink?
Yeah, as far as free shirt with a medium instead of with a different size, is there any thought process behind like dollars we're trying to make as we're trying to be generous? Is there anything along those lines?
Yeah, I think, well, a lot of the time, when we would do deals like that here, we do large drinks, and the large drinks would gum up the lines because they do take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But obviously the profit margin is a little bit better on the bigger drinks. So I think we sized down to the medium drinks in the past, and now probably here moving forward, just because of the turn time for customer orders.
Smart.
Love that. And Ben, jump in here anywhere you want. We're just talking through. I'm just picking on Drew because Drew is the origin of rolling these out, and then he left him behind. He's just like, I hope you guys do okay with these. I'm peacing out. So thought he could speak to it a little bit. So jump in anywhere here you want. I think probably too, some good to highlight is limited, right? Like it's not,
Absolutely.
this isn't just world without end. And Ben, maybe you could speak to that because I know you were always the guy like that. You were like, hey, make sure they're clear. They only get a certain amount of these per car. They only get like making sure you cut them off. You want to speak to that a minute?
Yeah, I mean, it's something we learned real quick that no matter what it is, if it's got deal on the front end, people will show up and people want a lot. And especially for us up here, we learned, like, especially if you do like a buy one, get one or a free this, that people show up in carloads and they bring their whole family and they bring like, hey, I want to get like 25 drinks for the office or for the restaurant or for the hospital, and you think that you're ready for that, and then somebody shows up and says in line and says, hey, I need 25 drinks, and you go, well, come on, man, we can't, there's 12 other people behind you, we can't do that like in 2 minutes. So learning your capacity and just knowing that whatever you said as a capacity, customers will try to consistently push that. Because they're like, come on, okay, she's not here, but I'm just taking it home to my mom. I've got my cousins at home. It's the holidays, and so like your customers will always try to push your capacity on those deal days. Yep. So you have to be firm with them, and you have to have that set. Otherwise, if you raise their expectations and you're not able to meet that, then you've just blown your whole deal day because now you've just got pissed off customers. On a day that you want to be bringing people in and making them happy, you're sending them away and pissing them off, which is the exact opposite of what you want to do.
That was it. So you pretty much just explained our first day at grand opening for Cafe de los Mais. Do you want to talk about that a little bit for a minute?
Not really.
Oh man, not really. Drew says to Aaron, hey, running the register, helping them with their grand opening for the Coffee Experts Elite. I got to come down and just be there. Who doesn't want to be in Belize? Came down to help out. And he's like, bro, I think we should really limit it. And I'm like, it's going so good. And he's like, bro, we're going to have some serious problems if we don't limit it. And that's exactly what happened, right? We had to end up calling it because the line was around the building, right? And the line was getting uglier and longer and worse. And it's hot as fire. There's not a lot of shade. Everybody's standing in direct sun, waiting to get to our line. And then you have people that are ordering 10 drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we learned that lesson, I think, at our Southridge grand opening way back in the day. It was the third grand opening where we did free drinks and we didn't put a limit on it. And it was just those poor baristas, like at the end of a shift, you could just see that they were like ready to give up on life. Cars, 2 miles long, and they're just working as fast as they can. If you don't put a cap on things, customers don't know what the amount of work that goes into it. They don't know that you have only so many supplies. Like they're like, I'm here because you told me to be here. So I'm here to get my free stuff.
Yeah.
But you have to put that capacity. Otherwise you're just you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot.
We found that too with value, right? As far as like we did $2 a day We did $2 a day that day. And what we found was people would come and they'd order 10 drinks and walk away and just sometimes not come back. You know what I mean? So it was like, so then you spend all the time it takes to do 10 blended drinks, you get them up on the bar. So 10, even working as fast and as hard as we are, it still takes, you'd still have time lag on 10 blended drinks. You get it up onto the bar and then you've pissed off everybody that's still on the line, and then the guys didn't show up. And then you like, Drew has a quality standard, right? I'd love Drew for it. He's like, we're not giving those out if they're not there for longer than this. And so then we're just tossing all this product, you know? So it was like, it was a good lesson learned on limited supply while supplies last, and really limited it down to one person. You know, like what are we doing per person? What's the per person count?
You gotta be well versed in exactly how all these pieces work together and the capacity of your team. Then thank God for Taryn and Aaron.
Oh man. Tell me about buy one, get one. Tell me the order of these, Drew. Tell me why you chose what you did in the order that you did. Because I know there was some science behind, especially as we got down to 23rd and 24th, the last couple of days before Christmas.
Yeah, so buy one, get one. I mean, the general consensus, at least of this specific location, is lots of people get mediums and small drinks. So I thought the buy one, get one would be nice, because then they can come in and get one large for themselves and basically get a good value add of just the small for free. So they're basically purchasing the 2 drinks for almost the base price of somewhere in between those 2 prices. And they get to, you know, hook up a friend, or hook up they can bring their kid in and get their kid something nice. This way they get to try drinks that they haven't necessarily wanted to try. We didn't put descriptions for the drinks on the menu, and so people, I think, there's 2 reactions. You get scared and you only drink the one that you like, or you're always adventurous and you're always trying new things. So there's people who are scared and only drinking the things they like. I think this is a good spot for them to be able to branch out and try something new, or to get their kid, you know, that smoothie that their kid is always wanting and they never buy for them.
Good one. Look generous, dads. Take your kids to Cava de los Mayas on the 21st. Get the large you always wanted and the small the kid always is begging for. I love it.
Mm-hmm. And that's a really good point too. Is like if you're giving away something for free, try and make up the cost of that drink somewhere else. So by selling the large drink, you're making up a lot of the cost of that small drink in your retail price point. If you do like a buy one, get one, you know, medium drink, you get a small drink free, then you're losing that amount of revenue that you could capture if you were to sell the large drink, give the smaller one away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Double stamp day is just a good placeholder, good value add for the customers, and everybody loves, you know, that extra stamp is worth anywhere from $5 to $10. So huge value add. It doesn't push traffic like crazy, I don't think. Fingers crossed. But it's good. It's a good way to pick up the pace a little bit and get the baristas hustling and towards the next one. So I think the save big, the large for a price of a small is going to be a busy one. Most people there, they purchase small drinks anyways. So they're going to be buying their big one and be real excited about it. So ramping up from the buy one, get one to double stamp day, save big. I think that it's going to escalate in accordance with, you know, proper scale baristas and kind of get them into the mode of working faster and faster throughout those 3 days.
Did you, are you going to change the buttons? Like, are you going to change the POS buttons? Is that how that works?
I'm going to add I'll add some buttons that make up the difference or work with the deals on the back end.
So that's probably smart too, right? A smart little like hack out of the gates that people aren't dicking around with their POS system at the counter in front of a customer trying to add discounts, trying to do this, that, but it's just like fast buttons, quick buttons. Like, no, here's this. And then, you know, we're running those deals only these days, and then those buttons go away, you know, when you're using them.
That's exactly right. It's exactly how we do it.
It's awesome. And then tell us about the last one, Drew Moody.
Well, free shirt with a tip.
Have we done this one before?
What's that?
Have we done this one before?
I think that we just do tip your barista day usually, but the culture down there is not oriented around tipping. It's mostly tourists. We tip like crazy, but a lot of the customer base down there is local. So this is incentive for not only the baristas to up their customer service a little bit, because, you know, as we all know in the service industry, that the higher level you serve at, the better your tips will be, the more appreciation it rolls in. So not only that, but we're going to be giving the customers a reason to tip. And it's like a reward for the baristas for making it through the other 4 days, which hopefully aren't absolutely insane. But what we did here actually, and I was talking with David about it this morning, is we don't have a lot of t-shirts, so it's not going to last all day.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is, it was a volunteer work day. So we're splitting all the tips for the whole day across everybody who worked, because obviously in the evening shift, there's not going to be any shirts to give out, which means no extra tips. So I think it'll be good. It'll be fun. The customers will be excited to actually come in and get their shirt, and maybe actually be a little more proud of their shirt, because they had to pay, $1 for it or whatever they're going to tip the barista.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
We'll
Good fact. So maybe we should talk about too, we've got some minutes left. Ben, I know that you were always a huge advocate for hard goods, and maybe we should talk about that, because I do think that we've consulted with a lot of different retailers now, a lot of different coffee retailers, a lot of people that are doing coffee, not just roasters. And I don't think every one of them does the same thing. And I feel like roasters saw some seriously monster days by doing hard goods and then doing competitions with their hard goods. So maybe you want to speak to that a little bit, because I feel like that's a pretty novel idea, and it really served roasters well.
Yeah, I would absolutely advocate. I mean, it's the shopping season. Like, if people are coming into your shops, their brains are already wired to be spending money and be doing Christmas shopping. That's why gift cards are always huge in the holidays. And if you're not upping your gift card count, like, you're just losing money in my opinion. But hard goods, for sure, people are there to spend money, especially in the US. I mean, it's obviously different down in Belize, but people coming to shops are there to spend money, and they're also looking, like, wherever they're going, they're looking for, that could be good stocking stuffer. That could be a good present. That could be this for whatever family member. And especially if your brand if you have an established brand within your community, you need to be capitalizing on the fact that people like you, their family members probably like you, their sister down the street loves your coffee, she can get a Christmas present, So hard goods for sure. And I always advocated for tucking that in to, like, the middle of your deal days. Like, you just had a buy one, get one, and all of your customers are super stoked. They just saved money by going to your shop. The next day you drop, hey, we've got this limited run edition of a mug or a tumbler or a thermos or something. So you just made them happy and given them a really good deal. And then you follow that right up with, we have this brand new limited time product that we only have so many of. And they go, oh yeah, great Christmas present. I was just there the other day. I love the baristas, and now they've got great Christmas presents coming out tomorrow. So you're sort of keying them up to be coming to your shop for these deals and these limited time things. And if you have really good hard goods, that can really eat up a lot of the revenue that you lost on your deals. And also, if they're good, nice hard goods, then you can make a huge profit in typically a really low time of the year. I mean, and set yourself up for January. I mean, January is typically the death month for most coffee shops. But if you can boost your revenue in December with hard goods, especially like, hydro flasks that retail for $50, $60, that can help, keep your bottom line afloat through that really, really, really low month of January, where people are most likely just cashing in gift cards.
That's because that's a real thing, right, Ben? Like, that would be where we all went to die. January is just like, I remember, like, Westwood sweep into depression in January, because it's like all we saw was gift card returns. So, like, the sales that are coming in is money that's already been spent. That's not new money, it's people redeeming, and I think as a business owner, it's hard not to carry that heavy, and so everybody feels super excited at seeing things grow, but be mindful of, hey, gift card redemption is a real deal, you know what I mean? And be ready and prepared for that, because that is on the backside of this. So I think stretching it, getting it to work, getting your deals to work for you, making money, using hard goods for that. And I will say, Drew, maybe you want to speak to it a little bit, but there's some pretty aggressive fans of your brand out there. Drew, you've got a gift that you showed me that was pretty impressive from one of the OG roasters that was a collector of, like, all the paraphernalia roasters put out through the years, and made you something pretty cool out of it, right?
Yeah, I actually have it here. I won't show you though; it's a secret. I had it was Kathy. She's a wonderful, wonderful person. She actually collected a bunch of roaster shirts and made a huge quilt out of it, and it was beautiful. It doesn't. I tried to use it one night when it was freezing. It's not very effective, but it's nice on the wall. Thin T-shirt blanket. I didn't really think twice about it, but You do have a lot of diehard fans, and if you don't yet, well, creating something like this consistently every year is going to create that habit of them coming back and remembering, oh, last year I did this, oh, last year I did this, and then whoever they're buying those gifts for is going to become that diehard fan who's going to be wanting, oh, I want the next new Hydro Flask, or I want that next design T-shirt, or I'd love to see what they come out with this year. So through these habits every single year, if you are creating great value for the people who are buying, you're not just creating those fans, you're creating the fans they're buying the things for as well.
Yeah. One of the best runs that we did was and I actually still have a Roasters Christmas ornament. Like it was just and it wasn't even a super expensive or super nice. It was just a little small plastic, Christmas ball on a hook. And I think we sold them for like $5, but we sold a ton of them and people loved them. I still have one to put up on my Christmas tree every year. It was just like, but it doesn't have to be a super expensive hard good. You can do a big sell of a lot of small things, but those small Christmas ornaments help sort of solidify, just like Drew's saying, that like, oh, Christmas is coming up. I wonder what they're coming out with. And you get them to be excited about buying a product from you, which is like, that's every marketer's dream, like to get your people excited to purchase something from you. All you have to do is say, hey, I have this, you want to buy it? And they go, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And be unique, right? Like, I think that was the coolest thing that Roasters did, was limited runs of unique. I think that the franchises don't do it as well. I've noticed is they get in the standard of, no, that's just our Hydro Flask. It's always our Hydro Flask. We always do the same thing. That's how we do it, but it's like, no, people love limited OG stuff. You know what I'm saying? So put out seasonal stuff, and every year make your seasonal stuff something different. So you walk into somebody's room, and some kid's room, they've got the whole collection of everything you've ever done, because they want to be that OG hardcore fan. They love the brand. Don't get stuck in your ruts. Don't get stuck in your rhythm. So that's why I loved that limited edition Christmas t-shirt you put out, Drew. I think it's going to be a ringer for those guys out there in years to come. So
love it.
All righty, boys. We're at the top of the 2:30 hour. Thanks for joining us, man. It was great having you back in the rings.
It's nice to be back.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, gentlemen. I meant to say back in the ring, but I think I said rings because I knew it was Christmas and it's Christmas spirit. So, all right, guys. Merry Christmas.
All right, fellas.